Welcome back to the deep dive. This is where we take all those great sources you send us, articles, notes, research, and really dig into them.
That's right. We pull out the key insights, the fascinating details.
And today, your curiosity has pointed us towards, well, an absolute legend, Freddie Mercury.
Ah, yes. A voice, a presence, truly unforgettable.
Exactly. We're diving deep into the man who started as Frederick Bulsara and became, the Freddie Mercury, frontman of Queen. His impact on music, on culture, it's immense, and it still resonates today.
It really does. And for this deep dive, we've gathered quite a range of material thanks to your submissions. We've got official biographies, some really interesting online discussions about his music-making process, and reflections on him as a leader, and also his very private side.
So we're aiming for more than just the headlines.
Definitely. The goal is to give you a real multifaceted look at this, well, complex and captivating figure. He was full of surprises.
Okay, so our mission for you today, let's peel back the layers. From his early years, that singular musical spark, to the absolutely electrifying stage presence and the legacy that just keeps going.
You should walk away with a much richer picture of him. Maybe some surprising facts, some deeper insights.
Yeah, get ready for a few aha moments because there's quite a story here.
There certainly is.
So let's start right at the beginning. The foundations, maybe the unseen parts, of the man who became Freddie.
Right.
He was born Frederick Bulsara, September 5th, 1946, on Zanzibar, East Africa. Fast forward 25 years, and he's Freddie Mercury fronting Queen in London.
That change alone, the name, the location, it signals a huge journey of, well, self-creation, doesn't it?
It really does.
And what's really fascinating is how that early life, which Freddie himself rarely discussed openly, it still profoundly shaped his outlook. He once made this sort of oblique reference to his Indian Parsi roots. That's an ethno-religious group originally from Persia, calling himself a Persian popinjay.
A Persian popinjay. Interesting phrasing.
Isn't it? But then at the same time, he was completely captivated by British fashion, British music. He even apparently wished he'd been born aged 18 in Feltham.
Wow. So a real pull towards that British identity.
Exactly. And there's this lovely little irony his assistant mentioned, describing him as very civilized and quite English, enjoying his tea from fine china.
Huh. So you get this contrast.
Precisely. It points to this dual identity he seemed to cultivate. Maybe that Persian popinjay flair, combined with that refined English sensibility, maybe that's what gave his stage persona that unique mix. Theatricality, but with this underlying elegance.
That makes sense. It's clear even the biggest stars have these, well, hidden depths. But speaking of the personal side, away from the stage persona, there's this incredibly endearing aspect, his love for cats.
Oh, yes. Legendary.
He apparently cared for at least 10. Tom, Jerry, Oscar, Tiffany, Dorothy, Delilah, Goliath, Miko, Romeo, and Lily.
That's quite the roster.
And most adopted from the Blue Cross charity. He loved them so much he even had portraits painted and wrote the song Delilah for his favorite.
Yeah, I mean, how many rock icons dedicate albums to their pets? Seriously.
Right.
On his 1985 solo album, Mr. Bad Guy, the liner notes literally say, "This album is dedicated to my cat, Jerry. Also Tom, Oscar, and Tiffany, and all the cat lovers across the universe. Screw everybody else."
Uh-huh. That's brilliant. Talk about devotion.
It's more than just liking cats, isn't it? It's a statement.
Yeah.
Especially coming from someone with such a, wild public image. It's a really striking contrast. Humanizes him a lot.
It really does. And it makes you think, doesn't it? How these core elements, that identity forged across continents, that private softness for his cats, how they maybe underpinned the whole flamboyant public figure.
Yeah, that contrast is compelling. The big persona built on these hidden layers alongside this very private, loving side.
Okay, so let's shift focus a bit. From the man himself to his craft, the music, the genius. Now, there's this common idea that Freddie was just this raw, untrained talent. He famously said he could barely read music.
Right, that quote comes up a lot.
But then you listen to something like Seven Seas of Rye, the piano playing is incredibly fast, complex even. So how do those two things fit together? What was his actual musical background?
That's a great point because it really gets to how Queen worked. He might have downplayed the formal training, but our sources show Mercury definitely had piano lessons from a young age.
Ah, okay, so there was formal training.
Yes, and that foundation clearly mattered. But a lot of Queen's sophisticated sound, especially those complex arrangements you mentioned, it didn't come from, say, university music degrees.
Right.
It came more from, as they put it, keeping their ears wide open, just absorbing tons of different pop styles, different genres,
Yeah.
and then combining that with relentless trial and error, experimentation. Think of it like a master chef. They know all the classic ingredients, the techniques. They don't invent new food groups, but they combine things, twist them in ways nobody else thought of.
Creating something totally new from familiar bits.
Exactly. Even the chords in Bohemian Rhapsody, which sounds so out there, can often be understood as a kind of mastery of pop idioms, using clever substitutions, parallels they learned, rather than being fundamentally unique structures from scratch. They were brilliant innovators within the existing musical language.
That's a really interesting way to put it. Not rewriting the rules, but bending them brilliantly. And it wasn't just Freddie doing this, was it? Queen was very much about teamwork.
Oh, absolutely. All four contributed significantly, even if the early credits sometimes just listed one name. That collaboration was key to their sound.
Any examples of that?
Well, Brian May's approach to harmony is a perfect one. He apparently thought polyphonically.
Which means, for those of us less musically trained.
Basically, instead of just a main tune with chords underneath, he was thinking about multiple independent melody lines moving together, weaving them.
Ah, like different voices in a conversation.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
It gives the music a much richer, denser feel, more layered. That definitely adds to that feeling of complexity in Queen's music.
And his guitar, the Red Special.
Right. Custom built.
Yeah.
And him using his 6-pence coin as a pick. Little things like that show their dedication to crafting a totally unique sound, right down to the tools they used.
And Freddie's songwriting was just all over the map, genre-wise.
Totally. Rockabilly, heavy metal, gospel, disco. He famously wanted to never do the same thing again, always pushing into new territory.
And then there's the voice.
The voice, yeah. A remarkable 4-octave range.
4 octaves.
But it wasn't just the range, it was how he used it. He could go from that almost pure, clear, crystal tonality at the start of Bohemian Rhapsody to that raw, growly throatiness you hear in Under Pressure or Somebody to Love.
Yeah, completely different textures.
Exactly. It shows that being a great singer isn't just hitting the notes, it's choosing the right notes, the right delivery, the right emotion.
Yeah.
He brought this, well, theatrical and operatic sensibility into hard rock, which was pretty radical at the time.
So much intention behind it all.
Absolutely. That intentionality, that versatility, plus the raw power. That's what made him stand out.
It really makes you appreciate how all those pieces, the natural talent, yes, but also the early training, the constant experimenting, the teamwork, how they all came together to create something just totally different.
A true maestro at work.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Building something new piece by piece.
Okay, so from the studio, let's go to the stadium. Because Freddie Mercury wasn't just a musician, he was the ultimate showman. The king of the stage.
Undeniably.
He called himself the Cecil B. DeMille of rock and roll, right? Always wanting things bigger and better.
And they delivered. Queen played something like 700 concerts globally. They broke records in huge South American stadiums like Morumbi and São Paulo back in '81.
Wow.
And they even played behind the Iron Curtain, Budapest, 1986, to 80,000 people. That was a massive deal back then.
Just huge scale. And the flamboyance, legendary, not just musically, but his whole performance style, embracing that glam rock aesthetic early on.
Totally. And think about some of those moments, like him just showing up unannounced at a Royal Ballet charity gala in '77.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, performing this complex routine in a silver sequined leotard.
No way. That takes some nerve.
Right. Or the story about him making a surprise appearance selling ice creams in the aisles during Dave Clark's musical Time at the Dominion Theater.
Wait, he just turned up and started selling ice creams.
Apparently. Just for one night. Imagine buying a chalk eyes from Freddie Mercury.
That's amazing. It just shows that playful, almost mischievous side.
Exactly. Pushing boundaries, even off stage.
Yeah.
And visually, think about that yellow military jacket from the '86 concerts.
Instantly recognizable.
It's considered his best-known look now. An iconic fashion moment. He
Yeah.
knew how to create a spectacle that stuck in your mind.
But if we have to pick one performance, it has to be Live Aid, right? July 13th, 1985.
Oh, without a doubt.
They just completely own that stage at Wembley. 72,000 people there, maybe 400 million watching on TV. Often called the greatest rock performance of all time.
And rightly so. That famous I.O. call and response bit,
Goosebumps just thinking about it.
known as the note heard round the world. That set wasn't just the highlight of the day. It genuinely revitalized the band. Their record sales shot up afterwards.
A career-defining moment. Pure showmanship connecting with everyone.
Everyone.
It's interesting to compare his style. Say, Michael Jackson's shows were huge, loud, technically perfect, very planned, very choreographed.
Freddie's seemed, I don't know, more raw, an explosion maybe, but achieving that same massive impact with arguably less fire and videos and elevators, less tech.
That's a great observation. It raises that question, what makes a performance truly unforgettable? Is it the perfection or something else?
Right.
Brian May said something really insightful about Freddie. He said Freddie could make the last person at the back of the furthest stand in a stadium feel that he was connected.
How did he do that? That's the magic, isn't it? Sometimes it was with just a broken microphone stand. Apparently it broke accidentally early on, and he realized he could use it in endless ways. It became this accidental, iconic prop.
So turning accidents into advantages.
Exactly. It's that ability to forge a personal connection with a massive crowd, that raw charisma. That's what sets him apart, I think. It wasn't just what he did, it was how he made you, the audience member, feel.
Yeah, that connection is key, isn't it? Whether it's perfect execution, raw energy, or just that ability to make everyone feel included, Freddie had it all, making every single person feel like he was singing just to them.
In spades.
And even after his death, his star just hasn't faded. He did solo work too, of course. Albums like Mr. Bad Guy.
And
Barcelona.
Yes. Groundbreaking stuff. Collaborating with the opera soprano Montserrat Caballé.
Blending pop and opera like that. And the title track became the anthem for the '92 Barcelona Olympics.
And he collaborated with other huge names, too, like Michael Jackson. That track, There Must Be More to Life Than This, eventually came out on a Queen compilation.
Right. What's interesting there, thinking about the Jackson collab, it wasn't just the star power. It really showed Freddie's adaptability, didn't it? Slipping into a different pop style, working with another giant, shows how eager he was to keep exploring, keep pushing, even beyond rock.
That's a great point, bridging musical worlds.
But then there's the later period, which gets incredibly moving. Recording The Show Must Go On for the Innuendo album in 1990, Brian May tells the story. Freddie was really ill by then, could barely walk, but he came in, apparently took a shot of vodka, and just completely killed the vocal in one take.
Wow.
Telling the band, write me more, write me stuff. I want to just sing this and do it, and when I am gone, you can finish it off. And he had no fear, really.
Incredible strength. Unwavering dedication right to the very end.
Then, tragically, November 23rd, 1991, he publicly announced his AIDS diagnosis to protect those close to him, apparently.
Yes, and he died just over 24 hours later. Bronchial pneumonia resulting from AIDS. He was only 45.
Such a loss. But his fight didn't end there, did it?
No, it didn't. The Freddie Mercury tribute concert for AIDS awareness, held at Wembley in April '92. Huge event. Televised to over 1.2 billion people.
Raised millions for AIDS charity.
Over 20 million, yeah. And it led directly to the creation of the Mercury Phoenix Trust, which continues the fight against AIDS today.
And they still do Freddie for a Day.
They do. Fans dress up as Freddie to raise funds. There was even a picture of a fan doing it at Columbus Zoo, posing with a penguin and a gorilla.
That's brilliant. His impact extending way beyond just the music, becoming this force for good.
Absolutely.
And culturally, he's immortal. Bohemian Rhapsody, the most streamed song from the 20th century back in 2018, certified diamond in the U.S.
And Wayne's World, that scene in the car in 1992.
Oh, yeah. Headbanging to Borat.
It introduced Queen to a whole new generation. Just showed the song's timeless power.
Totally timeless.
And connecting it all, Queen got the Polar Music Prize just recently, in 2025, described as a band synonymous with the very fabric of pop culture.
That sums it up pretty well.
You've got the massive success of the We Will Rock You musical, the Bohemian Rhapsody movie. His place is just cemented. And his influence on other musicians, Tom York from Radiohead, built a homemade guitar trying to copy Brian May's sound. Metallica covered Stone Cold Crazy.
Across totally different genres.
Exactly. He shaped music for generations after him.
So when you think about it all, Freddie Mercury, a man who just refused labels, embraced every part of himself, his creativity, and he still inspires people all over the world. A legacy that truly goes beyond time.
He wasn't just a performer. He was, as you said, a phenomenon.
Okay, well, that wraps up our deep dive into the incredible world of Freddie Mercury. We've gone from Frederick Pulsar's beginnings right through to that global icon status, his musical genius, that unforgettable stage presence, and an impact that still felt so strongly today.
It's been quite a journey through the sources.
Yeah.
And maybe a final thought for you, the listener, to chew on. Freddie Mercury himself didn't really buy into the great man theory. He believed his leadership, his abilities weren't just innate gifts. They were cultivated, developed.
Interesting. He worked at it.
Exactly. So what does that tell us about genius? How much of what we admire in our heroes, that talent, that connection, that charisma, is actually the result of relentless passion, hard work, and just an unwavering commitment to expressing yourself, rather than just being born with it?
Nature versus nurture applied to rock gods.
Sort of, yeah.
Mm.
It's definitely something worth pondering as you think about creativity and inspiration in your own life.
A really powerful thought to end on. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into Freddie Mercury. Keep exploring, keep listening, keep finding those amazing stories yourself.
Until next time.
Until next time.